First,
Okay.
I just want to start out, talk to me about how you originally formed the group Total, how you guys met and everything.
Oh, okay. So you want to know how Total got together?
Basically, yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, you know what? Actually, we all Jersey girls. Kim and Keisha actually was from Plainfield, New Jersey, and I'm from Edison. So what it is that Kim and Keisha was a group already, and
Hmm.
they was actually looking for a third member. Now, me myself, I always grew up singing. You know, I definitely grew up singing in church, but I never had any real studio time or anything like that. And one of my homies that was real close to my brother. Well, I would say he's like a big brother, but you know, one of the homies. He was like, "Yo, I'm gonna take you to the studio or whatever." He took me to the studio, and it was my first time being in the studio. I was 15 years old, and he was just like, I met this dude, this producer by the name of Norman Graff. He was like, you know, he wrote this song, and he was just like, I think you would sound good doing it. And we did the song. Just so happened, Kim and Keisha the next day came up to the studio, and they heard the song. And you know, I kind of met them in passing, just kind of just like a hi, how you doing? But that was more or less that's what it was. It wasn't even hi. It was like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
So after that, they heard the song, and they was just, you know, they was like I said, they was looking for a third member for their group. And the guy Norman just pitched it to him. He was like, "Yo, why don't you just get this girl, you know, Pam to be in your group?" And you know, they brought the situation to me, and I was just, you know, because of me being young and kind of just on my own little vibe, feeling that I was all thugged out. I was like, "Nah, they're a little bit too prissy for me. I can't do it." But needless to say, you know, I was just like, all right, whatever, I'll give it a shot. And that's how Total came about. You
Oh,
know, at
okay.
first we actually was called Total Opposites because if you
Hmm.
look at myself, Kim, and Keisha, and as far as our personalities and our sound, we have nothing in common. But when you put the three together, it was just like it was a hit.
Yeah.
You know, so we was called Total Opposites. And then from there, um, we was working with Norman still, and then we met these two guys that introduced us to a woman by the name of Kathy Duke. Now, needless to say, her son was the godson of Puffy, and we didn't even know this at first. She became our manager, and you know, she just would have us just doing just be I would say becoming stronger in our craft.
Hmm.
She would have us jumping out the car, like she'd be like, get out the car and sing, go over there and sing to the dudes right there in the corner. And you know, you being, especially me, I'm the youngest. I'm nervous, but what it is that at the time she was building up our confidence in just who we are, and that we can stand strong on our own with the voices that we had. And one day she took us up to the studio. She was like, "Y'all about to sing for Puff Daddy, you know, make something up, a little something, something, something." And we made up this song called Total Opposites. We just explained, you know, just think about our name or whatever. We walked in the studio, and well, actually, Puffy came down on the elevator. As soon as the elevator doors closed, we got in with him. We just started singing. We was all up in his face,
Hmm.
had him in the corner, and he just walked off. You know, he walked off, and when he walked off, he walked out of the elevator, and we was actually at the Hit Factory. He walked out of the elevator, and he just went to the back to the studio, and we just was singing in his face, this, that, and the third. And he didn't, you know, his facial expression didn't change. He was looking at us kind of like we was crazy. Asked us a couple of questions, and then after that, it was just like, you know, he was just like, all right, thank you for coming out. And I was like, dog, we was the worst, and he didn't even say nothing. You know, he was like, thank you for coming. But 5 o'clock that morning, he called Kathy and was like, yo, don't take those girls nowhere. I'm gonna sign them.
Cool.
It was really a good thing. It really was,
Hmm.
you know. But total, it was a lot of things that I left out because we had to grow together. You know, we
Yeah.
took that moment of growing together because I didn't know them and they didn't know me. And the
Hmm.
more we gelled and the more Kathy worked us so hard, you know, as far as just becoming great in who we were personally, one on one,
Hmm.
and then too with our craft, our gift. It was just like boom, the rest was history.
Yeah. Cool. Very cool. You know,
Yeah,
you
thank you.
you mentioned Puff. I wanted to ask you about your guys' whole image and persona. Like you guys had like that edge, that that bad girl image. Was that something? Was that
Mhm.
just your guys' natural thing, or was that something Puff tried to like instill on you guys? Or tell me about that.
Right. You know what? It was just natural. Like when you looked at the the whole persona of who Total was. Individually, you can see, like, you would look at me and you could tell, like, yo, she the one, she the one that seemed like she just real hardcore. Like, she seemed like she the hardcore, rugged one.
Yeah.
And if you looked at Keisha, she was more of the sassy, you know, around the way girl that was just, you know, the pretty girl that had a voice and just was like everybody kind of was just checking for and digging for, and had that sassiness about her, that sex appeal about herself. And then if you look at Kima, she was more sassy, kind of like, you know, more laid back, but still can give it to you type, like. But that's just who we were personally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was just like, and Puff seen that and he capitalized on it. You know, if
Yeah.
nothing else, but it was natural. It was just like we was the around the way girls. It wasn't, you know, too high sedity to where it was just like nobody couldn't relate. And it was just like, you know, we was those around the way girls that you know, you walk around. If you walk around nowadays, and if you walk from corner to corner, block to block, street to street, you'll still see those girls around, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
that's exactly who we were. We were around the way girls. So, like you said, we was the bad girls
Yeah.
of that boy. You
Okay.
know, it was more or less that Puff seen it and he capitalized on
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Cool.